RSL.
He did some questionable. He was actually a writer. He was known for writing, and then his movies were forgettable. And we talked about this in a previous episode.
Yeah,
about who he was and his background.
Yeah.
Did I say the release date for this movie?
August 4th.
Yeah, August
I don't know
4th,
if you said it.
2017.
Yeah, it does come. Yeah, so for me, it's definitely going to be no rush, no crowd. Big question mark. Maybe we'll get another trailer. Maybe some TV spots like make me feel better about the performances that are going to be given. But let's just see. What about you, Jesus?
Yeah, for me, some pros are Idris Elba and Matthew McConaughey. Hopefully, he does a good job in this movie. He's a great actor, so hopefully, he just doesn't mail it in. But other than that, the story itself looks interesting. I'm interested in seeing that. I haven't read the books or anything. I really want to, but I heard the books are really long. But yeah, another thing was the trailer was too long. I feel like they spoiled a lot of stuff, like what Elvis said. But the action sequences do look really, really cool, so I want to see that for sure. And for me, it's definitely, I would say opening night, but
it's tough.
It's tough. It's like an in-betweener.
Because I've heard there was problems with this movie. They delayed it,
Yeah.
They kept delaying it and all that stuff. And I hope it's good, but it's definitely no rush, no crowd for me.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's no rush, no crowd for me. Although I do want to see it opening week. It depends on what the crowds are. I mean, the question is, would you fight the crowds to go see this movie? That's the question. If it's a crowded theater, would you fight the crowds to go see it?
Like a fullback in the NFL. Run like elbows up and everything. Run through the crowd.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the question. Is it worth it?
Yeah, honestly, for me, I don't know yet. For me, I'm stuck in the middle. But if I had to choose, no rush, no crowd for me.
Yeah,
Yep.
I agree.
There you go.
No rush, no crowd.
Yep. There you go.
All right.
Bless
So we'll just go around the table and from all the movies that we talked about, what do you guys want to do? Like top 5, top 3?
Let's do top 3.
We can do
let's do
quick
top
top
3.
Top 3 with an honorable mention. So Elvis, you want to start this off?
So you want one honorable mention?
However many honorable mentions you want.
I think for me, it's definitely I'm gonna start it off with War for the Planet of the Apes.
What number is that?
That'd be my number 1.
Okay.
So this movie, like, it was still my honorable mentions, but it's like when it comes to summer, this is gonna be my number 1.
So is this your honorable mention or your?
No. It was my honorable mention in my top for the year.
Oh,
anticipated, but for the summer.
For the summer,
yeah, this is going to be my number 1.
Number 1 for the summer.
Yep.
Okay.
My number 2 is going to be Baby Driver. It's a movie that as I've seen the trailers and the posters have come out, I'm like getting really impressed with this movie. It's Edgar Wright, great cast. Like, I feel like nothing can go wrong in this movie, which is like, I love that so far. And I'd probably say my number 3 is something that's coming out really soon, Alien Covenant. Like, Alien Covenant is one of those movies that it's just like, we've got a little bit of reviews. We thought it was going to be, from what they're saying, the reviewers are saying, and critics, it's not as great as the first Alien. It's nothing different, but it's still like my top, like it's in my top 3 for sure. But and I think that's it, because the rest of the stuff I feel like is trash coming out. Like I don't see really anything that's like notable where I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna see that like open. Oh, what am I saying? Dunkirk.
That's what I say.
Yeah, what am I saying?
I was like, whoa,
my bad. My bad.
I'll
put that in my number 1. I forgot about that one.
You need to reorder that real quick.
Yeah,
I was getting very nervous.
You were about to be like,
I was
pause.
like, oh, we need to kick him out of the JNL for a minute.
My bad.
Put him on timeout and then let him come back later.
That would have been misleading because I was looking through the list and I'm like, War for the Planet, and then I'm like, oh yeah, Dunkirk. Yeah. Dunkirk's my number 1. War for the Planet's Baby Driver.
Okay. All right.
There you go. That's it. What about you, Mike?
For me, my number 1 is Dunkirk. Always been on top.
Yep.
That's my number 2 overall for this year. My number 2 for this list is Alien Covenant. That's what I'm excited about. My number 3, I was really torn. I mean, it's a 4-way tie for me. So this could change at any given moment. But right now, my number 3 is probably Spider-Man.
Okay.
My honorable mentions right now are War for Planet of the Apes, Wonder Woman, and Dark Tower. So it was a 4-way tie between those. Yeah. Basically.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed.
How about you, Jesus?
Alright, for me, it's definitely Dunkirk for number 1. And this is actually kind of tough because my number 2 is going to be... crap, where's that movie at? My number 2 is going to be Spider-Man, because of course it's my number 2.
I thought that'd be number 1. With how much you've been hyping it up.
I hope it'd be number 1.
He's sticking to his top 10 list.
Yeah. No, but then like my number 3 is definitely War for Planet of the Apes. Yeah, it's going to be a great movie and all that stuff. My honorable mentions are Alien Covenant, Baby Driver. Hopefully that's a good movie. And we didn't talk about this movie. And Mike, I know you think I'm trolling, but I'm actually thoroughly excited for Captain Underpants.
He's trolling.
I am not trolling. I'm really excited for that movie.
Really?
Honestly,
I know.
Okay, excitement is. Let's put excitement. Dunkirk.
Bro,
where's Captain Underpants?
On,
exactly.
It's like right next to it. I'm just kidding.
No, it's not.
No, I read the books when I was a little kid, so I really want to watch that movie though. But yeah, Atomic Blonde. We didn't talk about it, but it looks like a good movie. It's Other than that, that's my list.
All right.
I think that's it.
And we got another topic.
We got a little topic that has to do with summer. Oh, you want to?
Yeah, we Elvis brought this topic up. It was an article from. Let me pull it up real quick.
It was something that we thought was really relevant to this episode, and so
especially in the summer.
Yeah, especially for the summer. So Jesus, go ahead and kick it off for us.
Yeah, it's an article from the LA Times, and they're pretty much saying it was about it's about Hollywood and all that stuff, and they're saying brace for a summer box office sequel. They're saying that this year is like one of the biggest years for low points of summer movies. Mm-hmm. 10 years ago was the same thing. Low points, sequels, reboots, and all that stuff. It's not really panning out for movie studios anymore. It's a lot of focus has gone to streaming platforms, Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon. They're, the hype for summer movies is just not there anymore. There's a low drop-off point for this year as well. You have sequels and all that stuff, reboots, new projects, but
I feel like it kicked it off with King Arthur now. King Arthur lost a lot of money for Warner Brothers.
Yeah, King Arthur, was one of the main things that was in this article. Also, they say that
I think King Arthur's the reason they wrote this article.
Yeah, the budget for the movie was a lot, and what the turnout is going to be when after box office sales and all that stuff, it's not gonna make profit.
No.
But if I'm missing something, guys, just let me know. But,
I mean, you hit I think you made a good point. It's the summer of sequels, again, like it was 10 years ago. Yeah. The creativity is going to the streaming services because those are the ones that are willing to take the risks. Those are the ones that are willing to say, we don't need that historical or some kind of, emotional connection to something that's already existing. We're willing to take those creative risks. Mm-hmm. Overall, I think throughout the 11 movies that we covered, there's 2 that don't have any reference to anything that's been done before.
I would say Baby Driver and
Dunkirk.
Yeah.
I mean, and Baby Driver, but even Baby Driver itself is a take on something that's been done multiple times. So,
but it is definitely original.
But it's not a sequel or a prequel or anything. I mean, go through the list. Alien Covenant is like the 5th, or at least a sequel to and a prequel to, right? Yeah. And
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Pirates of the Caribbean 5. I mean, even if we include Fast and Furious, Guardians, you include those 2, right?
You got Transformers.
Fast 8, Transformers 5.
Yeah.
I mean, we're almost to double digits here. You know what I mean? Like, we're getting up there.
Yeah.
It's almost
and there are a lot of people were comparing it to last year because a lot of big flops were Star Trek Beyond.
Yeah.
X-Men Apocalypse, Independence Day Resurgence, and Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, where it's like, you would think they would have learned, but I feel like all these movies that are coming out were already in production, and they were like, all right, it's too early, too late. It's like have it at a halt. But yeah, man, it's just crazy how so many sequels and like Amazon and Netflix, they're killing it. Yeah. What's coming out on Netflix? War Machine.
Cannot.
You got Bright with Will Smith, David. Like you're getting like Netflix is killing it with their directors and like their casting.
And
they're.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What was it?
I was gonna say Amazon also Manchester by the Sea. They produced that.
Yeah, Manchester by the Sea, and you got what's that other one with John Cena on Amazon?
The Wall.
The Wall.
Where like some people were hearing good things from that one too.
Produced by, or it's on Amazon.
What?
I didn't know that was on.
Yeah, it was on Amazon.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're because these streaming studio, they're distribution, right? They're distribution houses. They're willing to take the risks.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. And that's what everybody is complaining about with Warner Brothers right now in the DC. They don't want to take any risk.
Yep.
So
that's so true.
And that's one of the things. And Sony, again, Sony's the same thing. They don't want to take risks. We're starting to see that with Disney and Marvel. Mm-hmm. Guardians, they're not taking risks.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But it is kind of good though that we're getting this report because it also means that if they're losing money, then maybe that means that audiences are becoming smarter and realizing like, okay, Transformers is the 5th one. Like even if you're like just want action, You just get tired of seeing the same characters, same thing. Let's see something different, you know?
Yeah, right.
Absolutely.
There's only so much you can do
So
with
it's
the
kind
same
of
people.
yeah. It's sad that like Hollywood's gonna lose some money, but it's like, hey man, at the end of the day, like you have to like reinvent the wheel. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
you have to go original, like go different routes, like or if anything, like maybe make summer like maybe equal it out more. Maybe put a little bit more marketing money behind like a Baby Driver. Like Dunkirk's already gonna knock it out of the park.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
But it isn't gonna make Transformers money.
No,
which is pretty sad.
No, it's not.
That's sad.
And that's sad. You're right. And Baby
It is
Driver
sad.
too.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
It
That's
could be
what I'm
a
saying.
super hit, but it's not going to bring the masses to there.
But you do need to get audiences behind it because I feel like they push so much marketing and so many trailers out for like Wonder Woman, Transformers. Like you give away the whole movie. Like that's what I think. What we all agreed on. Like on these huge movies, they're still months away, like a month or two away, and we already they gave away too much.
Yeah.
Because they're just marketing. They're putting too much money behind those movies. Put some more behind. That's why, like Dunkirk, we've only seen 2 trailers. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like you could tell that's Christopher Nolan saying, like, no, I'm not giving away my movie. I want to keep it a secret.
Yeah.
Same thing with Baby Driver. We've only had like 2 trailers.
Yeah.
So it's like maybe put a little bit more marketing, but don't give away too much. You know?
Right. I mean, and you put $320 million into Pirates.
Yeah.
Like really?
That was CGI.
I can't get over that. I know, and it's terrible CGI
Yeah.
in that.
Yep.
What's interesting though is I was reading an article also, and this article came up when I was reading about this article. It was George Lucas and Steven Spielberg. They predicted that this was going to happen. That streaming platforms is pretty much taking over right now, and this was back in like 2011 or 2013, one of those years. They said that this was going to happen. That studios were not going to take risks. They're going to just go by the name of the movie, and they think that's what's going to happen. That's going to make the money. They don't care about story as much anymore. They just, it just dropped off. Yep. And unfortunately, that's what's happening now. And it's a good thing for us because we're getting good quality movies from other platforms.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing and a bad thing. Like I want new stuff coming out.
More original.
I love
scripts.
comic book movies. I love sci-fi movies. I love all those types of movies. But I also want something new.
Right.
Hell or High Water was like my #1 movie last year.
Yeah.
I want something like that. Yeah.
I mean, it's a good thing, and it also scares me. I don't want to see a Star Wars movie on Netflix for the first time.
Of course.
So I don't want the system to fail.
Maybe a Star Wars TV
I would.
show.
Honestly, I would watch a Star Wars movie.
I don't want Star Wars to fail. I don't want the system to fail, and I only get my media via Netflix. I want options, and I'm happy for options. I want the consumer to have the power. So if the studios start losing money, they need to start listening to, hey, it forces us to get creative now.
Yep.
Accept some risks. Doesn't have to be big risks. Don't put $320 million. That's a terrible decision point. Come on.
Yep.
But put $320 million into a Dunkirk. Put it into a Christopher Nolan. Put it into
Deadpool 2.
Exactly. You could put it into a Deadpool 2. It's a rated R movie that banked. The return on investment on that, people go out and saw that the response was there, right? Because it was new. As soon as everybody saw Deadpool, that was new.
Yep.
And also, studios, they care more about Oscar season as well. They put more good quality movies during Oscar season than they do summer movies. Summer movies are this time kind of relax. Let's get ready for Oscar season. That's what I think also.
Yeah, and I mean, but the hard part is how many times do you rewatch an Oscar movie versus how many times you rewatch some of these big blockbusters?
Yeah,
it's true.
And that's the hard part. I mean, how many of us actually see these Oscar movies half the time? I still haven't watched, 4 out of the 5 Oscar nominees. Just because they sounded great, but that doesn't mean I want to go watch them. And even if I did, I'm not going to watch them again.
Yeah.
It's
true, man.
And so give us... It's a fine balance between entertaining, but you do need to take risks.
Yep. It's definitely going to be a topic that's, of course, this is foreshadowing. We don't know exactly because it's about to start. We're going to start getting into the thick of these movies. Maybe they do knock it out of the park. Maybe they make the money back. But it's kind of one of those things. I think we could reassess this question at the end of summer.
Yeah.
And be okay, did it lose money? Did the studios, were they happy? Are they going to go a different route maybe next summer? Something like that. So this is definitely going to be a topic that we're going to pay close attention to throughout the summer.
Or 5 years from now when we're in J&L headquarters.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, but
We're
you also
gonna be
look
making
at
our
next
movies.
summer. Look at next summer and Disney's with, again, not to go to Star Wars, but their anthologies,
Yep.
right? It's okay to play in the universe, but give out new material, and they move theirs to the summer. I mean, I think there's some response in studios. Even The Mummy, as little as I'm interested in it, at least that's